Order at 4:03 p.m. First item is attendance, and the only member not here is Steve Morgan. All of us are present. Mayor Hanson said he'd be here, try and be here later. Okay, approval of the agenda. Approval of this agenda. Need a first and second.
First.
Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And approval of the minutes of the last meeting. First and second.
First.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Citizens input. There being none. The director's report.
Hi, everybody. Hope you had a good 4th of July. Just a couple things. Been busy working on festival. The sponsorship letter went out recently. We'll do a follow-up letter here in about a week. I've had some success there, so looking for some continued success with that as it relates to festival. Working on some fall bookings. Flu Pod's back, and they want to do a little bit more than they've done last year, so we have that scheduled. Let's see, the new video is in the Corn Palace, so that's kind of cool. If you get a chance to stop, that's what Craig's doing right now. He's troubleshooting a little bit there, so they shot a new video, the chamber did, and it's playing, so that's going on. Yeah, that's a pretty quick report, but farmers market continues to be, I think, steady. The vibe is good. I think the vendors continue to be happy. We were at, I believe, 9 this, not the 4th, but the weekend before. We were 7 this weekend. First Fridays was a pretty good turnout. Elizabeth did a nice job on the 4th of July. It was lighter than normal First Fridays, but 11 to 2 and still had a nice crowd and good entertainment around the facility. So the bus tours are coming in and we hope that there's more on their heels. So now that we're past the holiday, update on the decorations. They've taken a lot of the grass stuff off. They're already putting the new sour dock on and will continue. July is rye, so I would assume shortly here Jeff talked to the farmer and we're getting really close to rye, so we should be seeing some of the rye coming relatively soon to start going up on the building. The 2 cupolas I know are the next process there. So that's what I have for an update today.
Dave, I wanted to let you know too, I'll be coming here on Thursday afternoon with the Davison County people to kind of do a walkthrough, just to see how we would set up for the health fair.
Oh, great.
I talked to them and they would like to do the health fair with the Flu Pod. So Lena's not able to make it, but I'll keep you and everybody updated for how we're going to move forward with that. But I think it is going to move forward with the Flu Pod. We'll do the health fair in conjunction with them.
I got an invitation to be at a Thursday meeting. Didn't have any context.
Did they invite you? I didn't see that.
So,
okay.
Perfect.
Then that's what that is.
Like
yes.
It's going to be better. So
yeah.
I assume that's it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Probably.
That being it for the director's report, discussion on seat sponsored program.
Tim, do you want to kick out? Tim and we've had a little discussion. I think back to originally when we were doing the seats. One of the discussion things we had talked about was with the new seats, would we have a program to honor somebody? I think is the right word, with a tag or a seat number, or is it a plaque on a wall? But we had just had a brief conversation, so just for open discussion today, just about, is there some validity to that? Do you think there's a good idea to move forward with that program? and how we might accomplish that with the new seats that are coming in September is what we're talking about. So
Yeah, and Dave, I just sent you an email literally 13 seconds ago with some information if you could pull that up for me. Just with some different options that we talked about. As far as price point go, we thought that maybe somewhere around $250 seemed like an appropriate one-time fee for that sponsorship. It does not necessarily get you anything other than the placard. What that recognition would get you is an engraved plaque affixed to an armrest or a seat back, and then inscription limit would be up to 2 lines with 20 characters per line, and then we would reserve the right for approval of those lines to make sure that whatever text is going on to them is appropriate, and then there's just some other things that maybe we want to look at as far as what things do we want to make it so it has to be family oriented, is it in honor of or is in memory of business or organizations, can this be a sponsorship type thing, and then would we also welcome milestones or recognitions, promotions, or something along those lines as well. All of those would be something to consider as a part of this discussion. And so these are just some thoughts that I had put together based off some of me and Dave's original conversations that I kind of put in on paper just to at least start the conversation. The idea is to offset some of the cost as we go to install the new seats that are going into the Corn Palace.
I think what I would add to that as part of that was also Purple Wave will have the seats. They'll post for sale the old seats in sections. So that again is a way to defer some cost from the costing of the new seats. People could also take those as a memory, or I know I had 2 businesses, one in Chamberlain and one in Mitchell, reach out who were interested in like 50 plus seats perhaps to use at their space.
I think the memorial plaques are a good idea, but I'm curious, would the sponsor plaque be the same as a one-time fee, or would it be a yearly sponsor?
I think anything's up for discussion. I think that is certainly a good point. And then the other piece would be that I would think that maybe you look at, if you're going to do different areas, maybe you do different sections for different causes. So like maybe if it's a sponsorship, it is in the center area, and then maybe we focus different things, or maybe it is a plaque on the wall that is in honor of or something along those lines. I think all those things are reasonable.
What about on that black handrail? That might be a good spot to put a bunch of, plaques.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
That's a great idea. I like it.
Yeah, I think we had seen several examples, some as simple as just the one little placard. Some I've seen it where they had essentially a map, if you will, on the wall that said seat A3, and then it had a name there, and there was nothing actually physically on the seat itself, but on a larger board it said, kind of like we do for our concert tickets, right? It would just be a blow up of the arena, and then you would go and you would fill in names on that. So if you were standing in one place, you essentially could see who all the honorees were in the facility, or a combination of both.
I like a combination. I think it's worth something to have on the seat. I think for like sponsorships and things like that, from that perspective, I like the idea of having something on the seat, but I think having something on the wall too could be a nice combination. That way it's not just people who are sitting in that seat or sitting in that area that are seeing it, but a larger crowd.
Other
Sponsorships, I think it would be kind of cool to do a yearly thing. Keep the revenue coming, especially for like businesses.
Right.
I think that there are other places we can get sponsorship in the facility, though, that I don't want this to seem like we're nickel and diming for what will end up being a 1-inch by like probably 3-inch plaque on the back of a chair. I think there are other places where if you're going to ask somebody for sponsorship, there are better places to get continued support for sponsorship. In my opinion, I think that you could have a sponsor and they would do it in my opinion, one time, and show that you're a sponsor of the Corn Palace, that you're a continued partner of the Corn Palace, but not. I don't imagine a lot of businesses would want to be asked every year for that.
I'd agree with that. Where I think it's you could even put a kind of end date. I don't know how long these chairs last or what the lifespan is on it, but maybe that's an expiration date, but it's not an every year thing, right? That'd be my vote.
How are you going to say in memory is only one time, but you're a sponsor, you have to pay every year? Like, that's not fair.
I would think it'd be a different cost.
Cheaper, sure, but
First come, first serve. Whoever wants their name on it.
I think there's probably a lot of small businesses that want to sponsor and do stuff, but they can't afford a couple $100 a month, but they could afford a couple $100 for a year or two. But,
Yeah, and if you had it yearly, I mean, you'd have to potentially, if they didn't sponsor yearly, unless you had them sign a contract, you'd have to change the logo out a lot, which is a more cost and just kind of a hassle. Unless you had them sign a contract to do it for X amount. But.
And then there's also the headache of trying to keep track of, did that business actually go back and sponsor? And if not, we're having people go in and pull the, and not that due diligence isn't necessarily a deal breaker, but I think that a one-time sponsorship fee for any of those things as a part of it is, for me, an acceptable fee at $250, since they're not getting any benefit out of that other than whatever that organization, dedication, or person's name would be. For me, it made sense, I guess. I don't know.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should just be a one-time deal. Like, you pay, your name's on the seat. That's what it is.
I'd rather see us look for other avenues for sponsorship other than on those seats. I think, again, we're looking for to defray some of the costs of the new seats, and I think that's what we're talking about here. So
I think the memorial would be less tacky than a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Like
And
memory of months.
we can market it as, do you want to be part of the history of the town and the building itself? Do you want your name there? Do you want your family name there? Do you want your business name there?
Yeah, and I think that still kind of falls in that. I think it's honor your business, honor your people kind of language. To kind of go along with what I do agree with what Jason's saying, that if you're a small business and you want to partake and feel drawn into the community and helping support the things that make Mitchell great, then we shouldn't stop that. But kind of the hybrid from what of it is, I don't know that that's an every year thing. Kick it off, brand new seats, help defer some costs, and then we're kind of there and we can flesh out the details of it. Like Jory is talking about, maybe this is, we see the program for this amount of time.
kind of figure what the life of the seats are, basically.
Right.
What
Right.
boil down to.
How many seats?
One of the other things I wanted to bring up was the idea of the early access to the select ticketed events and what that process would potentially look like.
That's something that we actually removed. I just included it in there as something that we had discussed it and said that it wouldn't work, and so I wanted to make sure to include it so we could say here that it would not be included and make sure that that was very obvious. So
Okay.
The opposite of what is written there should be said, that early access would not be allowed if you purchase the tickets. There's no benefit to purchasing this other than your placard.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah, it wouldn't guarantee anybody that that's my chair, or I bought that chair for
Right.
in memory of or in honor of, and that's my chair to sit in. It's just strictly it's in a place. Now, if it was available in A2, it means something to you deeper, and you want to put it on A2, as long as it's available, I think we would talk about that being,
Hmm.
your option. So, if it's not, it's not. Let me. Do you want me to get some more information and bring it back? Is that
Yes.
fair enough?
As a discuss, yeah.
Based on what I'm hearing here. Okay.
Is there an amount or like a number of plaques you would sell? Like, or it would just be for each seat?
I guess I saw it as there would be one plaque per seat.
Per seat.
And you could still identify that with a large
Yeah.
map of the.
Yeah, that would be
Palace
that'd
of
be
the
part
ceiling.
of the question for
Yeah. Right.
that is, what is that? What does that look like? What does it
It's-
kind of cost?
It's
What is
big.
that? Yeah,
It's big.
yeah. And where are we going to put it?
Yeah,
That'd
where
be the
are you
next
gonna,
thing.
we're gonna
That,
hang that?
yeah,
Well, and
right.
if we're doing plaques on the actual seats, I don't know that we need to have a physical up on a wall somewhere. We could just have a digital on our website someplace that
Good idea too.
you could go and find. This is where your seat is, and click on the seat to see
Right.
Right.
information about that.
And if it was a digital one, you could always add that as part of your images that you show during activities at the Corn Palace as well.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of doing a physical plaque, this might be silly, but those little emblems that you scan on your phone and it pops up who it is,
QR code.
QR code?
like a QR code instead of an actual plaque. You can scan the code and see whose seat it is. Maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
I think the people, if they're gonna pay for it, they want their name on it.
It ain't gotta be like a heck, but you can like vinyl on the back of the chair.
Yeah.
Not like an actual plaque, but like something like this, but like vinyl. That's their seat.
Yeah, I think we can look at all kinds of options with it. I think that, some of that's in this investigation piece. What does it take if we were to truly look at a traditional trophy?
And then if
Style
it
tag.
was a time limit, you'd be like every 5 years, come get your seat at the Corn Palace. This is your seat for 5 years. Then we do it again.
Some people take that a little too literally.
Pack them up and take them out. I will. I'll put some more stuff together, and in the meantime, obviously, as the board, if you stumble across something or spend a little time looking, share it. So, thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? All right. Need a first and second to enter executive session.
I'll first.
I'll second.
Who seconded?
Jason. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are